Hey friendship, welcome to the video on the Gravel Travel 3-bag system. What's up? I am Chase Reeves. I review products for travel, daily carry, modern living on spaceship Earth. And I want to share my thoughts on the carry comfort, capacity, external access, durability, and more on this Gravel 3-bag system. But first, I want to say thank you. This is my first sponsored video. Thanks, Gravel. They're like, tell us your impressions, be honest. But also, thanks to you for watching. Okay, so you may have seen Kickstarters from Gravel before. They got fussy in a good way about toiletry bags and other travel goodies. But this is their first backpack product, and it's a system of 3 bags, a 42-liter travel backpack, an 11-liter Daypack, and a 2-liter waist strap sling thing. Now, we're gonna get into all the details on this thing, but first I wanna roll tape for you on my first impressions of this bag. The material itself feels like it has a nice dry coating, nice and resilient feeling. Looks like we've got YKK zips that are AquaGuard sealed, right? Which so I'm gonna check out and see if it's kind of rusty going around corners. Here's a sling slash hip straps. One of my questions about this is when I have stuff in that, does it work very well as a hip strap? We're gonna find that out. And also, you know, can you get away with this? Is this okay to wear, like, in public? Very robust. This is kind of a utilitarian vibe. Huge, chunky padding with tons of breathability. Nice, easy luggage pass-through. Big, thick, fat pads for the shoulder strap. I actually really like this so far because it's extremely rigid. Now, your mileage may vary on this. I prefer a very rigid backpack, especially if I'm using hip straps. Why? Because I can lock that weight right here into my hips. These end up becoming just like organizing straps instead of weight-bearing straps. This is the kind of rigidity I actually like when I'm sitting, holding multiple bags, carrying my wife's bag, my kid's bag, holding a child by the hand, probably my daughter in my arms. I just like a bag that feels like it's got that sturdy, robust back. So far, so good. Nice, we've got some bottles, some travel blankets, and it looks like the divider system that's an option for this bag, which allows me to divide up the inside main compartment, almost like a camera cube, but for clothing. And then in a custom little pocket just for this, a toiletry kit. There's a little pocket just for the toiletry kit, and what is unique about this product, which is it's a 3-in-1 system. You've got an 11-liter day bag that fits inside of this thing or clips onto the straps. So you've got all your clothes, your big stuff in here, your daily carry type stuff. This goes on the airplane seat right next to you, or like, you know, keep it close to the driver's seat if you're road traveling. And your sling is like your little one when you don't need to bring a whole bag around. Now, products that do this thing well, where I have a daily carry bag, don't mind my little feather that I found. It's a turkey feather. Feathers are cool, dude. But products that do this well, where I have my travel bag, my daily carry bag, and they somehow connect together or have some sort of a system that makes my life work the way I need it to when I'm traveling. Because when I travel, I need something to get all my crap there, and then chances are I need something to carry around during the day, right? So this system, they're like, we got 2 for you, and this one comes apart and becomes the hip straps on the travel bag. That's interesting. But for myself personally, I was really interested in this 11-liter Daypack, okay? I love little backpacks like this. I would potentially buy this just by itself as a kind of a compact daily carry bag. Now, when I'm in transit mode, when I am traveling with this thing, airplane travel, boom, this goes right in the airplane seat. This goes in the overhead compartment, right? Same thing with car travel. This is up by the driver. I put everything that I need here. I've taken everything out, like for the last handful of days, I've been using this religiously as my purse. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But when I'm in transit mode, all of that stuff goes into here, and then I'll pack this away into this backpack so I can have it when I need it. Because the truth is, I don't like it as a hip strap on this. It's a little flumpy, frumpy. They move around too much because, like, when a bag has big chunky hip straps like that and you're moving it around, you need to get it into the overhead compartment. You need to put it down when you get to the Panera Bread and Terminal C or something. It just makes the movement, you see how smooth and easy? There's very little travel drag on this thing. It's really, you know where, like, it's actually nice and tight and you know where the edges are. As soon as you add this to it, it's just like flippy floppy. But I will say this has been nice to have on the daily. Actually, sort of. Let me show you this really quick. Okay, this zips together and then it clips together. These things come apart and click into the hip strap thing. It all makes loads of sense. But then you have two sides, okay? This side and that side. Over here, I've got this is where my mask is, constantly moving in and out of hotels and coffee shops. And it's like, every time you go outside, it's like, oh, did I bring my mask? Well, this has been like the place I've always kept a mask. The mask keeps changing, but the place is the same. This is that kind of daily organization stuff that, for me, I realize in the time of the novel coronavirus, gives me a little bit of comfort to know at least I have a place to put my mask. Now, where that mask goes is also where I keep a little book. Like a little book fits in here. Look, I can fit a little book in here. This one is called The Creative Process. I ain't like old shit, but it's good that it can fit an actual book, because getting off the phone, like, what are you gonna do? Just keep looking at news? Then there's the front, okay? We've got my glasses, and then my main room key for the family room. Then another front thing here, but with a little bit of a different, like, visually you can tell the difference. This isn't the same on this side and on this side. I know some of you are like, oh, duh, I could tell that by looking at it, you turkey. But when you're using it every day, it's precisely those kinds of things. Like, you see how this zipper looks like this? Guess where you're gonna see that? You're gonna see that a few other places. Right here, visually, same thing. Flat panel zipper, you know you're gonna get into a flat thing here. Whatever's here, you're gonna be thin. You want it to be narrow, right? But big enough for you to throw, for instance, AirPods, maybe the glasses. You want to have in a pocket like this, you just want to have one thing, maybe two. Like, I can fit my glasses and my AirPod, or my glasses and my room key, right? That's the quick access out here for that, like, just the few things. Same thing here, flat zipper. This one's bigger. You've got a lot more space in it. But those kinds of pockets, you just know by looking at it what it's going to be like. This one on the right hand is a little bit different. You've got this little lip that comes up, and then you can open it a bit more because it goes all the way to the seams. In there, I've just got my knife. I am just smitten by the ease of these two things, specifically the Airpods Pro. And then these Tri-Bit ones I'll link to below, because they're like $30 or something, and they actually work really well. Thanks, Tri-Bit. Car keys. And then there's finally the big pouch on the back here, where it's like the wallet with some spare cash, some CBD oil, my Pax Era Vape pen. Now, I like putting this book in here, but I really cherish and love this book, and my corner's getting a little eaten up by it. I don't love that. So it's like, if you're not gonna put, some ancient text that you really love in here, but it's nice to have a little book around. Not that I'm reading it very often, but when I do. Can you do this out in public? Like, is this doable out in public? Like, I think it, I try not to think about it. Like, I've got, this is my purse. I've got a spot for every dongle. I've got lots of stuff organized here. Sweet. I can turn it around like this, but then I'm not sure. I haven't gotten footage of me from behind yet, like standing in line at the coffee shop or whatever. I don't know if I want to be this guy, but the truth is, boy, have I ever been this guy for the last 3 weeks. Okay, so that's a bit on the hip strap. Personally, I don't like it on the travel bag, and I've actually really dug it as my daily sling. People are like, what is that? It looks a little weird, right? Your mileage may vary. You can tell whether or not you think it looks good or weird or what. I want to get into the travel bag really quick and then come back to the day bag. All right, this travel backpack is actually really killer to me. It is just a big box on your back, but one of the most important parts about this is this bento box thing that it does, where you have on the inside, now look at this, see this on these? This is a prototype. They have fixed this in the next version. They're all ready for production now. There's these tabs on the end here that allow you to put accessory straps across this thing in case you want to have straps. I try never to do that, but sometimes it's nice to strap in a sweater or a jacket. Honestly, I do that at the top, this little handle. I always have like my sweater's been just thrown through there because it's kind of cold in the mornings where I am. But that zipper has now been fixed all the way around. Good work, Gravel. Because I definitely noticed it as I was zipping around to open stuff up. Okay, check this out. Can you see this? This thing opens up like my dresser drawer. I've lived out of this for the last 3 weeks, basically. I actually have dug the flat with the dividers set up here. I've got a divider right here that divides my pants from basically some jammies and my electronics. And then I've got a divider in the middle. It's got my shirts here. Then on the top, these just work really great for like I got a beanie and a couple pairs of wool socks, and then this is where my fudgies go. My chownies, yo. Don't look at my undies. Let's talk about the externals on the bag. Really great water bottle. You can fit up to a huge hydro flask if you wanted to. As I showed you, there's this quick access on the front, which is flat and thin. You don't want to put much in here. It's big. This is big enough for your, if you're not using your phone for your airplane ticket, I don't know. I haven't had an airplane ticket in a long time. When have you traveled last? I'd still only want to put a couple things in here because everything's going to fall to the bottom. You don't want to have to look in a pocket like this because of the way that this is put together. You just want to be able to get in blind. And you probably won't zip it down all the way because stuff can fall out. So you just zip it, most of the way, and then you got your hand in, right? Some of you are like, why is this man talking so much about what we put in the pocket of the bag? I think I'll sort that out for myself. Well, your mileage may vary, my friend. I'm just saying, for those of us who are persnickety, when you're talking about getting in and out. Anyways, you're right, I should move on. There is a quick access on the top of the bag, but it's not so quick and it's not so access. It's just got a little lip here and then it is flat again. So it's actually got a nice little fleece lining, same Velcro-y sort of lining on the soft side of Velcro that it has on the inside of the bag for putting the dividers in there, which by the way, it's the Velcro in there. I felt a little like it pulls away from the edges a little bit. I worry about what that would look like 2 or 3 years from now. But my use of it so far has actually been great. I don't tear that Velcro out very often at all. It's like locked in. So up here, this is fleece lined and it's meant to be gotten too quick, but it's so flat. I've never used it. Why? Because I've been carrying that daily bag or the sling with me when I'm going. That's where all my purse items, I guess I'll just say purse items. Now, 2 big sections on this bag that we haven't looked at yet. Let's see. Front panel here, right behind this guy, okay? It goes around just the top down to here, and this flaps down. This goes all the way down to the bottom, so you can throw some flat stuff, maybe an iPad that you want external access to, maybe your magazine. If we were doing like a photo shoot, it'd be like Monocle Magazine, because I don't have very many friends. Then this pocket up top here, which you can see stops right here, nice little gravel bit right here. This liner feels nice in this way. I wanted a better liner in some ways, but the good news on this is it'll last a really long time and it won't get messy. It doesn't feel like my favorite liner, but I've had a lot of liners that I didn't like as much as this one too, right? So this is like a nice happy medium of something that's lightweight, that isn't going to get really dirty. Some liners really can get dirty, and it's gonna last a long time, right? But here is I've been using this. They sent this inside of one of their other toiletry kits, which is really fancy and has all this bells and whistles and a little spot for your condoms and shit. It's kind of cool. What I've been doing, this just hangs on the towel rack at the hotel we're at, and then I leave it open. It's nice, you can see all your stuff. This is a great little bag for me. I love it, and I've been using it just like that. Normally I leave the little hook out just a little bit away from the other zips, so I can tell from by a glance on the outside of the bag if I've got my toiletry kit in there. That's a nice little trick. You just gotta make sure that this doesn't get caught on things. So that's a front pocket. Now we've got the back pocket, which is where you have the laptop, all right? Oh, lots of space here, okay? Big old spot to put your 16-inch MacBook Pro or whatever you're carrying. here. Then a couple nice meshy pockets over here. This one's just got the elastic undies on the top and a little zipper guy and some mesh down below for an iPad or something like that. Now, this is where the frame sheet is, right here in the back of the laptop thing. So your laptop's nice and safe and protected. This is sort of a funky little way of doing things, but honestly, it's worked fine. Like, it's just like so simple. They had designed something that was a lot more complex, and they decided to go for something simple, and I tend to think simple is the best way to go because it lasts longer. But inside of here, you got that frame sheet with a nice aluminum stay, which keeps this whole thing really rigid when it's on your back. By the way, inside this bag, there is a laundry bag compartment that just folds away to nothing, and then you can pull it out and use it to keep your clean clothes separate from your dirty clothes. Thanks, Gravel. Okay, let's talk about the capacity and the comfort on this bag. Capacity for me has actually been killer. It's perfect size. It is the maximum carry-on size that you're gonna be able to get. You're gonna be able to get this on most all of the flights that you need to be traveling on. It looks nice and tight. It has that rigidity and that kind of the structure to it. So I think that the flight attendants are like, anyways, it just looks like it's gonna fit more than some other bags, right? It won't moof out too much. The capacity inside for me has been perfect. I can live out of this for months and months and months and months and months. Thanks, Gravel. The comfort is solid. Now for me, with a travel bag like this, I am not actually putting my laptop in it. I'm not putting I'm not using the hip straps. This is all my clothing, my piece of electronics that I plug in my phone to every night, plus my toiletry is all that's inside of here. Laptop, my iPad, headphones for work, editing tools and stuff like that, all go in a daily carry bag. So we're gonna get into this one in just a moment. But travel comfort on this is all very solid. You're gonna notice the big padding down here at the bottom and up at the top because it's just like, I kind of dig the way that they did this actually. On first glance, I was a little like, what are these, like designed by kindergartners? It's just like flat, it's just like chunks. But in use, this does the job. It really does. Nice fat padding here on the shoulder straps. Nice, huge air breathability for the luggage pass through here. So you've got this on your back and this on your back, and then these straps with a nice rigid frame. Que bueno. The straps are connected with some gated G hooks and they're adjustable a little bit, like up by like maybe 2 inches. You've got some load bearing straps. I honestly I haven't adjusted any of this. But those of you with really big frames, really small frames, you're gonna get a little bit of the ability to adjust that there, which might make all the difference for you. So all in all, this guy, pretty simple, like less travel drag. I'm glad that they realized that these tabs for the accessory straps got in the way of the zipper. It's the kind of usability stuff you do not want to have every time you open or close the bag. So that right there is going to be, that's like the one sticky point I noticed on this bag in usability, like from a usability perspective, is just those tabs. And now that's fixed. So thanks, Gravel. Okay, let's talk about this daily carry bag, all right? My complaint on this is it's actually quite floppy. Now it's all packed out with stuff, but you can even see, can you see down here, like you can see this right here, you've got a laptop panel in the back, which I can't live without, right? You've got the same meshy top and mesh here as you did in the travel bag, right? These are actually pretty great and solid. Most of the time, I just threw my laptop, my 16-inch laptop, my MacBook Pro, fits perfectly right in here, a little tight, a little less protection than you'd probably like, and this liner here feels a little thin. This bag, they're trying to keep it as lightweight, small, and minimal as possible. Why? So we can collapse it and put it in that front pocket of the travel backpack. But my experience with it has been, it's actually a little too fat for that when you've packed out the travel bag a bunch. You can fit it in, you can squish it in, but the more your travel bag is like overpacked, the worse every single interaction with it gets, right? So for me, my favorite mode in travel is travel backpack on my back and this in my hands using one of the 3 carry modes. You got totes. Now these aren't my favorite handles ever, but the good thing about them is they're actually adjustable. So like you can get it quite long to get your arm through it. So you got travel back on and your arm. That's great, like that. You're carrying it like this by your hand, and then with two of these, right? So got one on the back. This is why I don't love these straps so much, because they can just, I dig how utilitarian they are. It's just that they're kind of all over the place. You know, they'll be like lost down in here, moving. I'll show you these. One of the things we're dealing with here is these backpack straps. They, I think, are too fat or too big. I like that they wanted to give me some comfort with the mesh here, but I didn't like that I have to, like, I just feel like this could have been a lot more minimal so they could be out of the way easier. Throwing them into here easier. Are we getting into these straps right now? We're going to. Okay, G-hooks. These G-hooks, I actually had to find a way to like tie this G-hook on so it wouldn't keep coming off. Okay? These G-hooks come out a bunch. That's the kind of thing that they might be fixing in their in updates, but on this version, that's what I dealt with a lot. And I just found a way to actually G-hook it up onto one of these places where the sternum strap is supposed to go, and then take the little flap you're supposed to use the G-hook on, I'll show you that here, and just shove it, like, you know, I had to work it through one of the other areas on the G-hook to keep it locked in. So it's supposed to go right here, but what I noticed is that just in use, I would be grabbing it and plop, plop, it would just come right out. G-hooks are notorious for that. Now, these G-hooks up on the front here are for when you've got the travel backpack on, you can just grab this and slide those into the front of the strap. Right? Travel backpack, just pick one of these. Pick one, pick anyone, and throw it in, okay? And now this is actually, when you've got a long walk to do, this is one of the best ways to be able to carry both your daily carry and your travel bag. Like this works really well. So I do like that, even though sometimes these G-hooks can be finagly, and like these ones, especially down here, are. I do think that maybe in the future, a thinner strap or something that just makes this feel, because right now this just feels like it's really strappy and it's really dangly when I'm trying to go from tote to this, that, and the other. And this is related to, listen, this bag's actually kind of sick. It's like a great size, perfect little size for daily carry. But I do think it's just a little bit floppy for me in use. What I like about it is it can be really, really thin and minimal, but it doesn't end up being that because there's so much padding on the back and on the straps that ends up feeling like a bigger bag on the back and like a thin bag on the front. Does that make sense? So my experience of this, look inside here, got a water bottle built in, and this again is going to be able to fit the hydro flask, a big one. You've also got Velcro, soft Velcro stuff all on the outside, so you can they have dividers that you can divide this up with, which would give the bag a lot more structure. And the good thing about that is you can just pull those dividers down, collapse it down, shove this thing into that front pocket of the big travel bag. So my hunch is the next version of this bag, they're going to design it more like the Minaal Daily, a thinner knit, like thinner, and even more structural sort of padding. This little front pocket, I honestly lived out of, like when I was carrying this as like my go-to daily carry, what I did most of the time was I pulled these G-hooks out, and then you got to do this like pain in the ass, kind of shove it away. But once you do that, if these straps hid away better, this Velcro here, throw that in there, and then you live by the tote strap. But even when I do that, that's like as collapsed as I can get it with the handles. Like I feel like we could do better than this, right, Gravel? Like this, I want to see a little smooth, like really actually thin, slimlined, right? They have this like bouncy, moofy kind of. So that felt a little bit of a bummer to me. But the truth is, I lived with this thing for a long time like this. Water bottle, I would just throw out here. I would carry everything like this around the house. A great little day bag on the surface, right? Like great. It's just this is the part that gets me, you guys. Because the final piece of this, you've got the laptop and stuff on the back. You've got the main capacity, nice little front access, like just throw stuff in, like almost like a tote pocket. Nice little guy for your quick access, like glasses and AirPods or something. Form factor that's like, carry it like a tote. Put those away. Carry it like a backpack. Tape up the G-hook so they don't come undone. Carry it like a briefcase, which is a little, because it's floppy, you know, you're just gonna kind of get what you get. But there's this really useful top pocket in the middle here. So this is a very thin fabric to have this many zippers right here next to each other, and you kind of notice that in use. But this pocket, I was able to get like everything that I had in that sling, the little sling bag, in here basically, except for the book. It's a liner that works because I can really segment a bunch of my stuff. Like I got AirPods in this, a key in that. It was actually functionally organized. But the liner feels a little thin for me on this one. And then you've got that same Velcro side of things, which is not actually attached to the liner or to the side of the bag. So it can end up feeling kind of floppy in here, almost unfinished. But the truth is, I lived out of this thing, and I had everything that I needed, and this was a pocket that I put stuff that I needed, but I wasn't getting access to very often, right? So it's not a quick access in the same way when you load it out. This ends up being the quick access, and this does. So for a day tote, a day bag, when you're out in like Vienna, or maybe you're like Sevilla, or maybe you're trying to, you know, take in the sights of Berlin. It's very nice there this time of year. This is like a great day bag for the city. This is a great sling bag for when you need more. I mean, you could go with like a little pouch and probably get away with it. Obviously, the goal in life is don't need much. But I loved the size, I loved the design, I loved the aesthetics of this thing, and I wanted it to be just a little bit, I think it's like a little bit more structure, a little bit more minimal on this back panel, and this thing gets very nice. All right, so my verdict on this system, what's my verdict? My verdict is, first and foremost, this travel backpack itself is extremely capable. I really like the bento box feature of it. I like that it's sturdy and rigid. This external material is like actually solid. It works great. Dust fluffs right off. Nice and water resistant. It's gonna patina and break in, I think, a little bit. You can see maybe some of that here where there are scuffs and scrapes that I've put in these things. Comfort on this thing is notable. You're gonna notice that, but it's not perfect. Every backpack has, like, if you put enough in it, you're gonna feel it. The way that this sling works as your hip straps for when you're traveling, and then you convert it into this like little daily carry sling is pretty interesting, right? My hunch is, I mean, I like having a hip strap, I really do, but these are just really bulky and moving aroundy. So if I know I'm doing a lot of walking, then like if I'm at some big airport, if I'm like landing someplace and I'm walking for a while, if I don't know what's gonna happen, like then if I'm doing serious travel, then having that hip pack, I would get everything out of it, use it just as a place to put my phone, right? That could be really valuable. Cinching that thing up, even though when I move it around, I know it's gonna be floppy, sometimes it's just worth it to cinch that up so I can get this up onto my hips. And then if I'm like carrying a bunch of crap, man, and this thing's connected to the front, I'm doing that full like, hey, I'm an American in Thailand vibe. But there's a reason why that's a trope, because it's nice to balance out the weight of the backpack with the weight of the Daypack on front and have the hips. So really capable system, very capable system. And then when you get there, you get to choose, am I taking a Daypack? Am I taking my sling out for the day? This is very functional. This is very doable for a lot of you who are like, I just need to solve my problem of getting somewhere, you know, with the kinds of things that I need. It's just like does it all for you. It's not super duper affordable because it's actually like made with some really good stuff. You know, this material, this external material is solid. The straps and the frame panel, the padding on the back, where it matters, the material's really solid. The liner inside, the Velcro liner around the outside, I'd worry about that stuff breaking down too much over time. So when you set up your bento box in your main capacity, you know, maybe move it around a couple of times, but then just leave it as it is and work the way that that you've set it up. Just because I think the wear and tear over time, you're gonna notice it, right? You heard my comments here on how I kind of wish this was a little bit more elegant, but the truth is to get this and the backpack in a system that all works together so well, I do think that these G hooks connecting here are awesome, but what I would want to do is I want to be able to connect these without having the straps out at all, right? I just want like these G hooks to come out from here and just like, and then I just think that'd be sick. All right, so that's my take on this bag. Thanks Gravel for sending it over, for sponsoring it, for sponsoring the, like, let's hear Chase's opinion on this. That really, thank you. I was talking to Chris there. He's got beautiful twins. The company seems really down to earth. I really like that they got so fussy with the toiletry kit, which, by the way, any of you interested in a seriously well-considered toiletry kit, nice big pouch, all sorts of little fiddly organization in here, nice little spot for your toothbrush, right? Perfectly, like it's designed for toiletry stuff. This is slick, and this is designed, the backpack is designed for this to fit right in with it, right? That's nice, making this not just a 3-bag thing, but actually a 4-bag like system. Good work, Gravel, and thanks for supporting the channel and independent media. And thank you, viewer. What are you doing? Where are you gonna travel next? You gotta get out. You gotta get, even if you just go to a local park, you just gotta get out. You gotta get into nature and realize that the cows keep making milk, that the bees and the flowers are still just getting it on. But where are you going next? What are you up to? What's up next for you? Comment below. Let me know. How are you traveling? Are you good? We're just road tripping right now. We're just loving it. Check out my latest video right before this one on the road trip. And maybe in the next video, I should just do a video where just do a channel update. Maybe that'll be the next one. So subscribe and let's talk about life. Thanks for watching. Hope you find a travel bag that you really dig and that you stop searching for travel bags, that you stop searching for the bags and the tools that you need to do life and instead focus on doing life, going deeper into your skills, into your gifting, right? Going deeper into what you're on the planet for, because we need you. We need you, and we need you not to be like